Okay, we are broadcasting live. This week, Arthur Chu and David Pakman. Some other more dramatic things happening this week. Let's see, what else? We had quite a few things going on in GamerGate. Some good, some bad, and some very much in between. We're joined tonight by our first person. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, man?
Hey, I'm Dennis. I'm currently living in Norway and just heard about your stream. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you.
You may want to turn down your YouTube stream, man. It's getting an echo back here.
Yeah, I don't have a headset. I try to look for one. And if it gets really bad, I can see if I can find something. I don't know if it's better now. Is it live already?
It's live right now, man. This is the talkback that never ends.
Alright, I was on a podcast yesterday with one of the most famous, perhaps the most prominent Norwegian journalists, and we talked about GamerGate, so trying to do the good fight.
Okay. All right, we good?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's live, man.
I didn't know, did you hear the last part? Did you hear what I said, or was it just a blur?
Awesome. Okay. So, what actually brought you to GamerGate, man?
A lot of reasons. Ethics in journalism and stuff I've seen firsthand during the years. I don't know. You've heard of GameSpot, right? Can you hear me?
Okay, we good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
I don't know.
Looks like the stream might have like a 30-second delay on it. I think. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Okay, let me ask you a question, man. What did you think of the Arthur Chu on David Beckman?
I think it was a disaster for him. He tried to twist his arguments away from GamerGate. I don't know about you.
Well, a lot of the things that I've noticed with Chu, at least in that particular interview, was something I discussed with the Hat on about 2 days ago. They tend to ignore a responsibility issue when it comes to free speech.
Yeah.
As it pertains to GamerGates, Um, it seems that Shu does not want to hold any of the literally who's responsible for what they say. But it seems that with Not Your Shield, they are responsible for everything that they say.
Yeah, GamerGaters as well.
Well,
I just talked with someone on Twitter from the other side. I was trying to explain to them um, that GamerGate is trying to make it about ethics and corruption journalism, and he tried to push it over that GamerGate is behind all the threats. And I asked, where is the proof? Because the burden of proof is on the victim, not the accused.
you're absolutely right. They do ask. He is asking for, or are asking for proof. But what I was actually getting at when Pac-Man was asking questions,
Yeah.
the question was actually directed towards Not Your Shield when he was pointedly asked, well, basically, what do you think about Not Your Shield?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Um, when he said he was talking about using their identity as a shield to do horrible things. What he totally ignores is the fact that Not Your Shield is not just comprised of black people. It
Yeah.
is it is not just comprised of males, for that matter. So, in order for his argument to hold water, he has to deliberately ignore the fact that he did, that there are females in Not Your Shield. And he got wrecked on a lot of issues. I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of issues. And most of them were from his own damn doing.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, he did a good job on making himself look like a fool.
yeah, he really did. There were a lot more questions. I'm actually really kind of falling behind on my notes here, namely because I had some medical issues for the last 2 days, and it's so I'm like falling behind. Did you have anything that happened this week that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I did. I don't think you heard what I said. I'm currently living in Norway, and yesterday I was on a podcast with perhaps the most prominent journalist in Norway, and he and two others who are on his podcast are pretty much anti-Gamergate, and
Mm-hmm.
I took up on his offer and tried to discuss the issues. And well, I tried my best debating, but I put up all the points. I had notes, but I didn't really get to go in depth with all the issues. But I did my best, and it's hit Europe as well, so it's not just in US anymore. And yeah, they made it seem like Gamergate is uh, basically making a mountain out of a molehill, or whatever the saying is.
Yeah, you
And
got that
I
right.
disagreed.
Yeah, I think
Hello,
there's.
can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you. Tell me, man. What?
Oh, you got muted again. Morally.
I
Yeah,
done
we
it
can hear.
myself. I was just muted because I thought I was just jumping in to say, "Can you hear me?" and then leave you to chat. So I muted myself again. So
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, we can hear you, man. Tell us about yourself. Tell us what to call you
well,
first.
I don't know. I've been on a couple of streams. I'm just a guy, man. That's about it. I'm just a guy. I do an internet DJ stream every Thursday. That's about it. And I'm just like got pissed off with them saying that gamers are all blah blahs and stuff, and got involved with Gamergate. Well, about I don't know. It's been a while now. And that's about it really. I'm just a guy.
You're Scottish, are you?
Aye, a drunk Scotsman. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, so that's me. me.
I was just making sure. Oh, he got muted
Okay,
again.
so oh, he mutes it just whenever he's not talking.
Okay.
Let me ask you, man, what got you into? I guess you already answered that. Tell me what you thought of Arthur Chu, man, on last week's interview on David Beckman.
There's not much to say about him, is there? He's the problem, to be honest. I mean, they're all the same as him. They're
Okay.
all fucking. I don't know, man. My mind can't comprehend these people, like, at all. I mean, you try to talk to them, and all they come up with is, oh, you must just hate women because you view women the way that. I mean, you know what I'm saying, don't you? It's like it's hard to explain, but
Yeah,
it's just like
I get you.
What you're
they try
saying,
and shut you up by saying you're a misogynist, pretty much.
what you're saying is his mindset is the one that is mostly indicative of the problem. It's not so much indicative of the problem, but it's more representative of the mindset that is the problem. The
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
uninformed,
totally.
the uninformed mindset that we are falsely labeled as all these things that we are actually not.
No. That's not what I mean. The way I see it is,
Do you mean his
he's the one that's
views?
pushing. He's the one that's pushing the narrative to the uninformed people.
Yeah.
Right.
What we are, right? He's a problem. And you can't talk to that person. Whereas there's normal people that you can actually talk to and convince that it's really not the way they're saying it is. He just seems to be, I don't know. It's like a religion to the guys, man. It's messed up. It's like atheists and Christians. You can't. The atheists can't really fight the Christians because they're already indoctrinated. It's the same type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, I totally understand. There's no, they will not give you room to argue because they are right in their righteousness.
Well, it's not even room to argue, man. You can give them as many facts as you want, but they'll just debunk them and say it's misogynist or sexist or like Ken.
Well, in my experience, they don't so much debunk your theories as they so much as they move the goalpost.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but it's like, that's what I mean by debunk them. It's like there is, you can't really debunk your evidence because you've actually got evidence to prove that it's fact, right? But what they actually do is just go, oh well, but it's because of this, and it's like, but I've give you evidence to prove that it's not that, and then they just go, but it is this, and it's like a religion. If you see what I mean by that.
Yeah, I can. They believe what they believe on a basis of faith without necessarily proof, and they believe it's so hard otherwise, no matter what proof you have. Okay.
They're wrong.
Yeah, I totally
Anyway.
understand. Was there anything that you had in a particular issue with this week that happened? I mean, I know there was quite a few things, but I've been out for 2 days with some medical issues, and I've kind of stuck myself here at a Whataburger, and yeah, great times.
Okay, you've missed actually quite a lot if you were away yesterday. GamerGaters kind of eating itself apart at the moment. If you missed the King of Pole and Mundane Matt and
I just
all that stuff.
I saw the Internet Aristocrat video, and if it had, go ahead, man. Just tell me about it.
Well, it's a lot of right. This is the way I view it, right? And I've got an idea how to fix it, and this should get out to everyone, by the way, because this idea is fucking awesome. I know it's mine, but it's an idea. People can take it and change it, whatever. Right. Problem is, what happened? I don't know if any of you watched King of Pole.
I watched King of Pole.
Right. I've tried to watch him.
Right. Now, at the start, his thing was quite bloody good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. He was funny. He
Okay.
debunked videos and stuff, which was great. And then he kind of got, I'm not sure, I think people started saying, oh, you can't say that. He got hit with shells. He got hit with Everside. He got hit with a lot of people, right? And I think, this is me maybe going off on a tangent, but I think what's happened is, right, he's so popular. Gamergate kind of made him into a figurehead without knowing it. And that gave them a person to hit. And I think he's been getting a hell of a lot of abuse from the other side as well. And our side is kind of not helping by going, oh, you can't say this and you can't say that as well, because there's some of our side that say that. And I think he snapped because he's had this all the time, like constantly. So anyway, my point is, the reason he done that is because he's got so many listeners, viewers, whatever you call them. And that's the problem with Gamergate. Right now, everyone's going to so many e-celebs, if that's what you want to call them. It's a good
Okay.
word. You know who I'm talking about. It's Internet Aristocrat, King of Pole, Sargon, Mundane Matt. The problem is the Gamergate's kind of mostly getting their info from them. And the opposition can make them into figureheads, right? So the opposition can attack them without. We're kind of helping on making them figureheads as well, but the opposition can attack them. If they attack them, they disrupt Gamergate because we're all infighting. Because we're like, why are you attacking him? Why are you doing this? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. A lot of the things that I've seen these guys go through. These guys have been both kind of blessed and cursed at the same time. They have the ability to
Right.
speak very eloquently. The way that it seems to me, I think that at least in the instance that I saw a group of friends kind of getting drunk and saying some shit they may have not
No,
otherwise
it
said.
was more than that. It's been more than that. That wasn't really the issue that's happened. That isn't the thing that's split everything up. That was kind of like a catalyst, maybe. I'm not
Okay.
really sure, but no, that wasn't what happened.
Well,
You've
there was
missed out in the
also,
last few days, right?
I think, I got some stuff. I think there was a release on, there was some sort of thing by, oh god, Nick Denton. There was
Yeah,
some sort of thing by his Facebook page
yeah.
or something like that. Uh, did they ever confirm or deny that that
It's
was
been told debunked seemingly. The King of Pole made it up or something. I don't know exactly what's going on there. It could be fake, it could not be. But the source that King of Pole got it from, um, no one can confirm it. So it looks like someone might have emailed it to King of Pole, and King of Pole kind of got so excited he released information before confirming that it was legit.
okay?
Um,
I thought that Hot Wheels had confirmed it.
Yes, he did. But if you read a Hot Wheels post about it, it tells you all about it. There's quite a lot. I can't remember where the post is, but Hot Wheels done a big post with pictures and stuff saying that he trusted King of Pole and he confirmed it without actually confirming it. If that makes sense.
Okay, because so basically just Paul said, hey, it's real, and so Hot Wheels says, okay, if you say so, man.
Well, not quite. They had a wee bit of back and throw, but
Okay,
pretty much, yeah.
alright. Some other things that happened this week, I remember that Oliver Campbell had said he was in contact with a source. Did anything come of that in the last 2 days?
No,
Nothing. Okay.
no. Um, my idea is to debunk this e-celeb thing because I think these guys, man, I mean, a lot of them, if you've noticed, are trying to just back away at the moment because they're under so much stress. Um, I think the best solution we can do is because we've got these guys that put the information out here. Is if we have like a Gamergate council, right, and we have it's not leaders, right? Just stop that. I know everyone's going to go, yeah, you're talking about leaders. No, it's like a council, and all the information that we get, stuff like that, go to the council. The council then tell everyone, because people are getting bored. They're going, we're just emailing. We need something else to do. Okay, so the council kind of goes, right, you can email and you can do this other thing and this other thing, right? And it's all open. And we have whoever's on the council is randomly generated like a jury duty. It's like randomly picked every week or so. So it's still always random, right? It's always different people. It can't get co-opted. It's always random people. And in fact, the noobs, not noobs, the anti-Gamergate people have already made our list, man. The block list. Just have that random number generator, have that, and then say, like, you've been picked with a random number generator, you're part of the council for the next week or so. And then we can have it's instead of just being fucking chaos like it is, because chaos is going to be our downfall here, man. Everyone is going to think we're all shells, right? And in that chaos that we've got at the moment, that's going to cause our downfall. Now, the way I see it, if we make this council thing, that's organised chaos, because every week gets put to the council. The council then decide what is done with it. Now, all the council does is decide what to do, what to tell people, like this, that, and the next thing. So we don't have leaks like the King of Pole thing without it being confirmed. There's no Illuminati type group, because everyone knows the council does it. So all the logs that the council has, although it's a private group, because we don't want it co-opted, although private group, it's every week or every 2 weeks it changes people. All the logs that group has been talking about or recorded gets put on the channel, and also it also can get put on YouTube. So like, say it's a Google Hangout on YouTube and it's live, but it's just the council people that are talking are allowed in. We could do it that way, and I think that's the way to combat this. Oh, he's a shell, and he's a shell, and he's a shell, and it still has the no leader thing, because we've got it's like the jury duty thing with the random people get chosen every week. Also, by doing it that way, we can also point journalists and stuff to the council, and they can deal with them as well, because the council will be our voice. I don't know what you think of that. I think that's a good idea, man. I think that's how we go forward.
That is actually a very interesting idea. But okay. Yeah, normally it would be against, like, leaders bad, because it's easy to get them co-opted, but that proposition you're putting forward is actually, that's the first thing I've heard that I'm considering. Although I'd change it just a little bit, and that would just be like, instead of this kind of like full rotation where, and by the way, Darkstar, we're getting like a heap of feedback and shit from you. But anyway, so instead of like a full rotation, you kind of like, so just say the council is 10 people, right? So what'll happen is, say every 2 weeks, whatever the rotation period is, like half of them get moved off, and then kind of like another half kind of come in. You see what I'm saying? So that way there's a
run
little
with
bit of
it. It's
continuity
just an idea.
between each. Yeah,
run with it, change it, fix it. It's
Yeah.
just an idea that I had that seems to organise the chaos more than it actually is. Because at the moment, it's too chaotic. There's too many people coming in.
Yeah, and that's something like that would be nice. It'd have to be, I suppose, people would put their names into this program that would set up,
No, man. I
and
just say we
or
don't need
something.
to even make a
No,
program.
you need
Honest.
some way to like get the names, so like people.
We've already got the block list. They've made it for us, man.
Hmm? Oh yeah, I guess. Like, really?
No.
Does that have enough
I
people?
mean,
Is that
yeah,
where's
the way I see it, man, they've made the block list, right? So whoever's on the block list can't really be a shill, right?
Is it the Twitter block list?
Yeah, just use the
Okay.
Twitter block list, man.
Okay, I'd say yeah, that'd be a start. But in addition to that, there's a whole lot of people who don't use Twitter because they just don't like it, and I can totally understand that. I've got a Twitter, but I don't use it that much because it can get really toxic. And I think if we're just using, if we're
No,
like,
no, I agree with that, but I'm just saying that this is just my
it's a
basic
start. It's a
idea.
start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a start to, and you can run with it, man. Change it, do whatever you want with it. But I really do think GamerGate needs to.
There needs to be some direction.
It needs to harness the chaos and then focus the chaos. It's more like say it's a machine. The council's kind of like a machine which grabs all the chaos and then focuses it. Sort of. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that. Well, I think the rotational kind of council might be a good way to do it. I mean, I've said this in previous streams, which are unfortunately deleted now. But if there
I
are no
think it would
leaders
be
and there's
hard, though.
no type of leadership at all, people will kind of like just gravitate toward prominent figureheads just because people do look for a direction, and if there's no direction,
Which is what's
people-
happening.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not a good thing because, you know, I can't remember who said it, but basically, there's a quote somewhere. It's like, if you don't define something, it'll be defined for you, and that's the thing. If we try to keep GamerGaters this totally undefined thing, someone else will define it for us, and at that point, we've been co-opted, and it'll be over.
But it is defined. It's a consumer revolt.
Yeah, it's not like it is. Like I get that, but more of a definition than that. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If
I
you say
know what
there's no
you're
leaders,
saying.
there's ones who are just
No,
gonna come.
it's more than a consumer revolt. It has to be. We won't win if it's not. If it's just a consumer revolt, why has it lasted 3 months?
Yeah.
It should just be a consumer revolt, but they've turned it into something that is more than that. If you see what I mean.
Mhm.
I don't. It's hard to explain, but we need to get more organised, and I think that's the best way to do it is that idea with maybe like I don't know add-ons, man. Just run with it. I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah. There's a few issues, and the issues are seen first, like actually getting everybody on board. You got to give it some kind of legitimacy. That's the first issue. I'm not sure how to achieve that. The second one is obviously stopping anybody getting too much power, and the rotating council, I think, it's the first good idea I've heard to organize things, but without having too much power vested in just a few people. And of course, it would have to be open. We can't have like, hidden chat rooms and stuff like that. It's got to be something open.
No,
That's
no,
why
we'll
that's
have
why-
like that's what I'm saying. We'll have like
Yeah, exactly. I'm agreeing.
a
Yeah.
council YouTube stream like we've got right now. So
Yeah.
only the council people are allowed actually into the hangout. You see what I'm saying? So it's broadcasted, but it's still locked out from just people jumping in. I've gave it a wee bit of thought. I've been thinking about it for a couple of days, and I think. Well, I'm not sure. I'm wanting people to chuck ideas in, and then I can say I've thought about this. But the what you were saying there, it won't be locked out. It will be broadcast on a hangout, like how the council decided what it is that they're doing. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, you're talking about a council kind of like Digra, right?
What's that? I'm not familiar with that. Oh wait,
You're
that's
talking.
just trigger. Oh wait.
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think he's talking something like that. This is the kind of thing. Basically, what I think he's getting at is something that it's just a more organized type of what's the word for it? Venue or something where ideas can be put forth and agreed upon, and it's not any one particular group of people. It's like anybody can be part of it, just to provide direction without allowing too much power to be in just a few people.
Exactly. It's more of a organised chaos. It's like we've got chaos right now, and that's what's happening. And this chaos at the moment, what's happening, could be the GamerGaters' downfall. But my suggestion is, or my idea, is that we have a council that grabs all the chaos and then decides what to do, where to focus the chaos. Say, like, maybe they get all the ops, they get all the information, they decide when to release the information. Like, don't release it like King of Pole did without it being totally confirmed and stuff like that.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying. And then it's a rotating council as well. So every week or
So
maybe,
is he cutting out? No.
am I cutting out?
I think I'm not sure. I don't know if it's my end or your end.
You cut a little out, but just continue.
I'm loud. Anyway, so we have like a rotating council, so it's not always one person that'll be on the head, and we have the Google Hangouts to go, look, this is how the council decided what to do with this information. So it's more organised chaos rather than like what it is, where it's just fucking chaos. And they can also direct people to certain places to put ideas forward and stuff like that. And everyone puts their ideas forward to the council, and then the council decides what to do with the information they've got, whether to do or whatever, and get it confirmed or all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what the council's there for, and it rotates every few weeks or whatever. So that way it can't be co-opted. There's no votes about who goes in. If they try to attack the figurehead, can't, because they can, but it'll only happen for a week or two, and the next person will be nice and fresh for the next onslaught, and there's still no leader. You see what I mean?
I agree with what you're
Yeah.
saying, but it kind of would have been, I think it would be hard to make people get behind it.
Yeah. There is a kind of paranoia about being co-opted by a leader, and I can totally understand that, and I agree with a lot of it. It's if
No,
someone
because
gets
it
too
can't.
much.
That's the thing, though. It can't be co-opted. It can never be
The problem is
co-opted.
who sets it. Like who sets it up? Who's trustworthy enough to set up like the infrastructure to make this happen?
I could do it.
Yeah, but who trusts you?
No, I know your point, but the point is,
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, like, I don't give a fuck if you don't trust me or not. I can say, look, got this list, the block list, and I can go fucking here. Here's the people that should be on the committee or the council, and then just run from it with there. I mean,
Yeah, I think people should be able to put their names in just so people who aren't on Twitter can still get into this, because like if it's just Twitter,
yeah, but that's just the start. That's just
Yeah,
to
I know,
start.
that's
That's
the thing,
just to start it off.
Yeah.
Once this council's sort of thingy, then we can actually get information out there more often. and it's more because to be honest, all I know is YouTube and Twitter. I don't really use 8chan and other things. I know there's other people that all do the opposite. But once the council has been established, then we will have default places to go. If you see what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I just don't know if it's feasible at the moment, seeing how much just shit that's happened just today and
But
yesterday.
that's why we do that. That's why we do this, is to stop that shit happening in the first place.
Yeah,
Like,
I get what you're saying. I totally agree. It, I just don't know how we would be able. We had to have to go to all the sites and get people to agree with this. That's the
well,
issue.
yeah, man, it's an idea. I mean, you can debunk it and say it's not a good one, or we can. I'm just putting an idea out there, man, and I
Yeah,
have thought about things. The questions you're asking me, I've thought about, and I'm just like, yeah, put out. I need to get on a stream. That was my point. When I came up with it, I thought I need to get on a stream, put this out there, so that people will know about it
That
and
sounds
see
like
what other people think.
it sounds like a pretty good idea, man. I think a lot of us need to give it a little bit more thought and some deeper consideration before we do anything like that, and we appoint anybody that can actually put it together. Moving on from that, has there been anything else that has happened this week that has just been groundbreaking?
I don't know anything in particular. I don't. How about Gawker losing another advertisement?
Yes, the emails must go on. It's pretty good.
Yeah, or how about the Pac-Man interview? Somebody in the chat wanted to take up the Young Capitalist interview.
Yeah, about the Young Capitalist interview. Who saw that? Because I know that I was not able to.
Yeah, I
I've
saw
been
it
watching
earlier.
some of the other ones.
I don't
Oh,
know
I
if
saw a bit of
anyone
that.
else has seen it.
I've only seen it, like, I've started watching it, haven't finished because I've had shit going on.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I saw it just recently. David Pacman asked some good questions, and he asked if the fine young capitalist had anything to do or knew anything about the doxing, and he just said no. And he also they talked a lot about the project and how it happened. It was mostly that.
Oh, yeah.
Sugar-free targets in chat said that Digra talked about Gamergate. Was that actually new, or is that something that's kind of old?
I think it happened earlier in the week. I'm not sure about the whole thing. It's kind of hard to catch everything.
Okay. Yeah, it
But
makes
I
every
know that they've been mentioned several times by Sargon and some other guys.
Sargon
Yeah.
actually had some pretty good things to say on his last stream, at least that the one that I remember where he was talking. I think he had Roguestar on. Not really I didn't get to see all of that, but who did get to see all that?
It was at like 4 a.m. for me, so I didn't watch that.
You mean the tea time one?
Dyson pulled out of Gawker, so says sugar-free targets.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. They pulled out, so I don't know if Hulu. Somebody posted a picture about Hulu also backing out, but it's not been 100% confirmed.
Cherry looks like he or she is saying that Pac-Man did not ask about Zoe's attempt to destroy the fine young capitalists.
Yeah, that wasn't really put up there. He was more asking about if they knew anything. if the fine young the guy that was interviewed, if he knew anything about the doxing of Zoe Quinn, but not the other way around.
Right. Well, the thing is that if you go pointing fingers too much, you really just look like the boy or girl who cried wolf, and fewer people start to believe you until you actually start proving people wrong, like with evidence. Instead of saying, "Oh well, no, they're doing something bad to me," it's like, no, you have to hold the actual evidence in your hand while they're talking.
Oh, something I'd like to draw attention to is I'd like to draw attention to it because I actually cannot do anything about this. And this is that whole the legally shady stuff that you know was it Gorka and like a whole lot of those things have been doing. Now the reason I can't do anything about this is because I'm Australian. I can't send emails to the American authorities about that because I'm not an American.
Yeah, same here. I live in
Yeah,
Europe, so.
yeah. Damn Americentrism. What is it? Americentrism. It's just, yeah.
But I said I mentioned it earlier. So GamerGate has hit Europe as well, so it's become an issue here as well as the US.
Has it in Europe? Has it been as bad as it has been in America? How exactly is it affecting you guys?
Well, they've there are two, at least here where I live, there are two big podcasts, and they've gone pretty much against Gamergate. And I was on yesterday on one of them and trying to get our side of the story. So I hope at least got them to look at us just not idiots or trying to harass anyone else. So we tried to actually attack them on the issues. They've said Gamergate hasn't had any good arguments or stuff like that.
Well, we appreciate it, man. Anything to disrupt the narrative anywhere goes a
Yeah.
long way to help us out.
Yeah, I've just been sick of the one-sided stuff. They've said several times on the podcast that GamerGaters are just a bunch of idiots and women haters, and I just couldn't stand there any longer and just take that.
Yeah. It's also a bit over here in Australia. There's like an article on ABC, that's the Australian Broadcasting Commission, which and she's like, oh, Gamergate, blah blah blah. What is it? You know, how do I explain the hostility displayed by so many gamers towards fairly mild comments about the depiction of women in some obviously backward video games? That's quoting from the this article, and it's the same old bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
because
any use be I don't know how old you are, but remember the 90s and how video games cause violence?
Oh yes, yes.
Yes.
Every
It's the
school shooting is
same
caused by
fucking
video
thing
games.
again, but this time it's what pisses me off the most, right?
Video games cause misogyny. Yeah, video games cause
yeah,
violence. We
that's
totally proved that,
bullshit.
didn't we?
Well, here's one of the big things that I've got with that. If you were to say there's a possibility that video games or certain video games could cause uh, neurological disorders, like say epilepsy, I could actually somewhat see that happening. Now, show me the proof. But showing that video games cause a subconscious reaction, which, and every time I've ever seen a mood-altering reaction, it was either chemical or subconscious. And subconscious is really hard to prove.
Well,
When you're talking about anything about subconscious things, you have to be able to perceive it 50% of the time, which means if it's not perceivable 50% of the time or 40% of the time, depending on who you are, it's not subconscious. And therefore, the misogyny and violence that you see can't be subconscious
but
either.
I've just look at Gamergate, right? Look at how many people have come together to say, "Fuck you, we all play games." Look at the don't want to put it in the rainbow colours, the how many lefties, righties, different races, different people, totally never would agree with each other in any other circumstance, right?
Yeah.
And they're all agreeing on games. That shows you how fucking multicultural, unsexist, whatever the fuck you want to call it, games
I
are.
think, yeah, I think it's funny because we're always fighting about the best platform and stuff like that.
Well,
No
no,
Xbox,
there's
best
no fighting.
PlayStation.
Come on, you've got to admit there's no fighting.
You know what,
Blank scum.
The best
you know what I
platform.
mean.
We're on top.
No, I mean,
We're on top.
People can gather and use it as one voice and stop the bickering amongst each other and say that this is bullshit.
exactly.
I think it's fantastic.
Murray SW.
Anyone with quarter of a brain or any IQ at all can sit there and look at Gamergate and say, "Wow, that is what multiculturalism is." I mean, you can't get better. I've never seen the amount of people that are agreeing on this issue. All different. They've all got different political views and stuff. All different colours. Everything. I've never seen this before. And they people are trying to brand us the opposite of what we are. It's fucking unbelievable. It's like you'd have
It
to
is.
be fucking insane not to see it.
Well, that's the thing. This whole I don't even social justice isn't a bad thing, but I think that, like I've said this before in a couple of other places, the first thing that was co-opted by social justice warriors was social justice. It used to be, and like at its core, still is a good thing. Now,
I totally
those
agree.
people,
But what is social justice? What is social justice? We should help each other out. Because if that's what social justice is, then who the fuck's against it?
Well, social
exactly,
justice.
that's the thing.
and-
And that's part of their whole thing. They go like, whenever you criticize them, they go, "Oh, you're against social justice. You're against justice. Aren't you're blah 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 blah." That's part of the reason they're so powerful.
You're right. It's basically
no.
how could anybody be against this this totally divine idea or this totally benign idea that everybody should be having equal rights and an equal say and equal representation. The thing is that they have gone far above and beyond the call that real social justice is. If you want to say social justice is people that have disabilities that are honestly trying to get work, that are truly being discriminated against because of their. That's the kind of that is social justice when it works well.
Exactly.
Yeah. These people, they'll only accept their version of social justice. That's the only type of social justice.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's only, which is really funny because they're so intolerant, but they're some of the most intolerant people you can find.
Yeah, but I also think that Gamergate is older than just 2 months. I think it stems back to 2008 when I think it all started. Because I've been at GameSpot for 10 years, and I saw when Jeff Gerstmann got fired, I think something started. And we've seen in the last years like Dorito Gate, and the journalists from Eurogamer getting fired, and just shitty stuff. It's just built up to a point where people have had enough.
Well, yeah, exactly. I've said this before. I think World War One was more avoidable than Gamergate because with Gamergate, like World War One, there were all these kind of things just kind of that happened at the same time. They kind of like drew all these different threads together until it suddenly became this huge. It suddenly exploded into a massive war. and you can trace all those different threads back and back and back, and work out that, hey, this started here, 20 years before or something. And that's the same type of thing that's happened with Gamergate. Is there's all these things that kind of combined to amplify each other into what we have now. So, for example, the Zoe Quinn thing, that on its own, that would have lasted maybe a week or two. Honestly, it wouldn't have been
Yeah,
that long.
I think so too.
But yeah, and it would have been over, and that would have been the end of it. It's this person eats up shit.
But
because of
they
that,
tried to cover it. That's the issue. They've just disregarded us and called us bullies or whatever, and called us misogynists and all the horrible things which aren't true. I don't know if you have any input there, guys. I just
think
feel
it's
it's just built up.
There's not a whole lot new to say on that subject. Is it?
Yeah, it's just frustration. I've seen even with the Xbox and Shadow of Mordor stuff. It's just a lot of things that have people have just had enough and gone against what the media and the publishers are trying to do to us.
One of the last things, guys, that I want to get to. Have any of you seen the video made by YouTube Nation?
No, I'm just about to watch that. It's 4 minutes long, so I'm just gonna. Yeah, we'll just watch that now.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, what'd you think about it?
I think it's total bullshit, to be honest. The woman who is speaking in the video is a known friend of Zoe Quinn, and it just makes us look like a bunch of idiots. Instead of that's always the issue. Where the Gamergate case is always portrayed by the other side instead of both sides, and I'm just frustrated by that shit.
Yeah, one of the things that's said in the YouTube Nation video, he said I can't even remember the guy's name now, but Zoe Quinn's ex-boyfriend. He said he's this angry. He's always characterized as this angry, jilted ex-lover. But I actually read the Zoe post it was a while ago now, but it didn't really seem that angry to me. Has anybody else read it?
I think I read a little bit of it, but they're trying to denounce it. That's why they're trying to make him look like an angry, jealous ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, but no, apparently he was a pretty reasonable guy. So,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's people aren't interested in truth, which is one of the sad things. I've seen it said many times in Gamergate that Gamergate has the monopoly on truth. Unfortunately, that's not totally true anymore because there's just been too much bullshit going on. But I think we've still got quite a big...
I think that we're actually a bunch of well-meaning people. It's not that I would say that the majority of us, the good majority of us, are not outright liars. It's just some of us get too excited and we get deceived somewhat easily, at least in our excitement.
Yeah.
And I think that is another testament to Gamergate's diversity. It's part of our humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not all of us agree on everything, but that's what makes Gamergate Gamergate. I mean, if we were 100%, if we agreed on everything, I mean, that wouldn't be the heart of Gamergate either. I mean, we are allowed to disagree. I mean, Matt and Roguestar can disagree on things, but they're still trying to do the same thing.
Well, Sargon actually really said it best. If you do not like what a certain YouTuber or face in Gamergate has to say, turn them the fuck off, block them, and don't listen to them and go somewhere else. Well, that's exactly what I think most of us should do. If you don't like the way someone talks or what someone does, That doesn't mean that you are now anti-Gamergate by any means. It just means you can be in the movement, they can be in the movement. You just need to be on the other side of the room.
Yeah, that's okay. I agree. I partially agree with that. I think that if you don't like the way someone's saying something, sure, just don't listen to them. But at the same time, if you disagree with not the way someone's saying, but what they're actually saying, talking to them about it is probably the best way to do it. I mean,
well, yeah, obviously,
we shouldn't block, just block people we disagree with. There should be, uh, vigorous, lively debate about how to do things, and all that good stuff.
well, when
Because
we're
otherwise, we
actually
will just turn into a hard box.
that I'm actually talking about it is, say, for example, you are just, say, Joe Nobody, and you know good and damn well that Roguestar or Mundane Matt's not going to get back to you. The point in engaging them, yeah, you can say something to them, but you've got to remember that they are as well people. It's not something that you can just blindly spout out and say, um, horrible shit to them, because eventually that stuff adds up. One post, somebody can rub off their back, it just runs down your back. But eventually you get enough people that are pissed off enough, it makes you just not want to do it, especially when you're about to say it, doing it for free.
Yeah, I agree. But we have to try to talk to each other as well. We can't start yelling at each other and calling each other names. I think that would be the downfall of Gamergate. If we just start talking shit to each other instead of focusing on what we're really trying to do. I don't know if anyone has any input there, or I just feel that we have to keep telling or emailing and trying to tweet or whatever we can and try to get our message through to the places we want to do.
Yeah, and the way to do that, of course, is I'll give you an example. I had a discussion yesterday with someone who was just they weren't anti-Gamergate or anything. They just wanted to kind of like talk to people from Gamergate to get some information, and so I just talked to them, and they said some stuff that I certainly didn't agree with, but I didn't attack them for it. And if we keep that kind of attitude where we just go, okay, well, like I can't change what you think, and that's fine. I'm not going to keep trying. If you just do that, then well, it'll just it'll give people the sense that hey, they can come to Gamergate just to kind of know what's happening, and they won't get shat on. And because of that, people will be willing to join.
Yeah, we
It's
want people
it's a
to
good
make up
faith
their
thing,
own minds.
Yeah.
I've talked to somebody as well. They're not anti Gamergate, but they're not pro Gamergate either. But I'm not gonna yell at them for not believing the same stuff I do. So
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of attitude we need to have.
but the biggest problem we have right now is that we're not getting we're not being having any debates or being listened to outside perhaps David Pacman. He's trying to cover both sides, and that's a rare thing. I feel that that's a core of the issue, that the journalists aren't trying to be neutral, trying to put a narrative out there and show
Yeah.
one side of the story, and that it just irritates me, and I just get frustrated.
I think from the chat here, Murray Sway says that we have a common goal to end the corruption. I think our biggest enemy right now is ourselves, because when there's a lack of news, we'll jump onto less important happenings. That doesn't necessarily exclude our own. I think this is correct. Like we've seen recently, there hasn't been kind of like any big happenings, and so in that kind of like vacuum created, the recent thing with King of Poles kind of slid in, and that became this really big thing because there was nothing else to distract people.
And of course, and in other situations, or at least previous weeks back, that basically would have kind of gone unnoticed in a lot by a lot of people because there was other shit to focus on. Right now, there is that vacuum, and we are kind of looking for something to kind of pounce onto, and something, to feel active, to not feel
Yeah.
stagnant.
Yeah,
Well,
but we are attacking Gawker at the moment, so their ads are pulling left
Yeah,
and
there still
right.
needs
So.
to be like there's kind of like this ongoing grinding battle, and people can send like those emails now, and it's almost routine. It's like, yep, just send the emails, and but what are we really doing? And that's, well, like I guess that's the kind of thing. That's just what happens.
Yeah,
Now there are what?
no, just continue. I can
Yeah,
just.
there are a lot of one thing that I'm kind of maintaining along with some other people is the GameGate news aggregator, and unfortunately, that that relies on people submitting news articles that they've found to the aggregator, and then we put them up on the timeline. Unfortunately, basically nobody's using that. Most of the recent things up on there are submitted by me. It'd be great if we could get some more people onto that. It's a really easy thing to do. What you do is, whenever you find an article, you go to the Google form for it, and you just kind of like put in the email, put in the details. You put in the URL, you put in like an archive of it, and a few other things. Hell, I might even change it so you only need to put the URL in. That would just be enough because I can do the rest myself.
okay, guys, I've got to shut down right here. This is basically was an impromptu type thing, or at least it was supposed to be scheduled, and I, got everything together as fast as I could after getting out of the hospital. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys plug yourselves if you want to, and we're going to go ahead and end it here.
Yep. I'm at legendsmith.net.
Okay. Anybody else?
What?
Yeah, a plug? Not really, man. I'm just on Twitter. I'm just a normal guy. Twitter's GPF_Warmblade if anyone wants to hit me up. But other than that, no, I'm just a normal guy. Don't have much to plug at all.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm at the _last_ride1. So at Twitter. So.
Okay.
I just want to say one thing before we go.
Okay.
Facile Goose from the chat has said, figureheads intimidate the enemy, but sails move the ships. And we have an endless supply of emails to feed our cannons. A few ships of the line bow out, 10,000 take their place.
That's awesome.
And that's exactly what the council will do, man. They will focus the fire. Because at the moment, it's going everywhere.
I'll take it over.
Anyway,
Dark Star if you need to.
Do what?
You want me to take it over? Did you need to go over something?
Yeah, my computer's actually dying right now, so.
Okay, well I can probably take over the stream if you want.
Okay, man, I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
Yeah.
Later.
Have a good day.
Good day, man.
So how's it going, guys? I've been kind of keeping up. Just waking up though.
Yeah. That's when we kind of like wrapped up, and then it's like, no, the show's going on.
Well, if you guys want to wrap it up, that's fine by me. But I just tweeted it out, and we're getting it retweeted, so.
Yeah, may as well keep it open, man. I'm fine with that.
Oh yeah.
One thing I'm watching on Twitter is the Mackenzie Kelly thing, and it's kind of going on in our Steam chat.
What's that?
She's she ran for city council in Austin, Texas there. And basically a few people are paranoid of her. Like she wants to use it. And there's a couple GamerGaters. I've seen her being treated pretty poorly by people that are paranoid of her coming in. And I didn't really agree with it, and I kind of tried to shut it down, but I treated her pretty nice. But now she's basically stating that all of Gamergate treated her like shit, and Gamergate's not going anywhere. You need to basically get people, like her in the movement. if you want to get anywhere. But where me, I knew this was a big long haul because we're fighting the bloody media here.
Yeah.
And I knew from day one that the media, any media, wasn't going to really treat us right, and this is going to be a long, drawn-out battle.
It is.
And as long as we're slowly growing and people are coming instead of leaving, I think we're doing just fine.
Yeah,
And
that's
as long
right.
as people keep emailing.
No, man, this is back to my idea again. This is why we did, like, the council idea that I've come up with.
Yeah, I was listening to that, and I'm not sure if that's going to work.
No, because we can't get... The thing is, if we keep getting bigger, it'll cause more chaos. The thing is, we had... It's not really figureheads per se, but it was the loudest guys we had. The most guys that got the most viewers, that pulled the most viewers. King of Poe, Internet Aristocrat, Sargon, they guys. They're pulling the most viewers, right?
Yeah.
And they are basically our figureheads, sort of. They're our leaders. Not really, but they are. And if they guys attack them like what happened to King of Poe, and I think that they attacked them, they smashed them. That's what happened to them. I think if we have a council, we can go, look, target these guys. And they can target them all they want. But if they switch every couple of weeks...
I think that's part of Gamergate's strength, though, is that...
No, but that's what you're missing. You're missing the point of the Gamergate strength, man. It keeps... This council thing keeps the Gamergate strength, right? Because instead of them attacking our separate figureheads one by one, right? Okay, I'll put it this way. They get rid of King of Poe, right? That's done. They get rid of Internet Aristocrat. They get rid of Sargon. They get rid of Hot Wheels. They get rid of whoever else pops up, right? They will always do that because they'll always attack them people. Every single time we have people that have got the most listeners, they will attack them. So what we do to combat this is we have a council. Everyone goes to the council.
Yeah, but people are still going to naturally gravitate to people they like to listen to.
And the council is, every week, the council gets refreshed. So there's still...
I just want to comment on that. People are naturally going to gravitate to people they like, which is part of the problem because...
But they won't gravitate to the people they like because the council is the people they go to get the... The only reason I went to King of Poe in the first place, although I like him, was to get information, right? So, to get information, who do you go to get information on Gamergate?
Yeah. Well, I used to go to the news aggregator, but then I was running it, so...
Well, I was running it too for quite a while, and I thought I got kind of burned out on doing it pretty well all myself
that is
too.
something that actually needs to contribute. Because
so my point is, this council is going to be the place everyone goes to for their information. And the council can't get burnt out because every week or so the council gets refreshed.
Yeah, and this is why I think this is actually a good idea. Although, people have heard me say it before. Like, if we, I don't want Gamergate to get its Napoleon because we lose when that happens. We just flat out lose.
That's my point. I can't see how.
Exactly. That's why I like your idea. People are saying, okay, some people in the chat are saying, we don't need the council ideas. We'll just bubble up to the top.
Otherwise, we're going to eat each other alive because at the moment we've got cliques. We've got people that like King of Poe. We've got people that don't like him. We've got people that like Mundane Matt. We've got people that... That's what I'm saying. We've got cliques. We have to get rid of the cliques. To get rid of the cliques, we have a council. Everyone goes to the council for their info. The council gets refreshed every couple of weeks. There can't be a clique forming because this is going to go on.
You're never going to get rid of that,
Christmas, man. This is going to go on past Christmas.
But this will I think what he's saying is that this will lessen the impact of the cliques. Additionally, people are saying, we can just keep doing what we're doing. We actually can't. If you look at history, you can look at movements or
No,
whatever.
that's what I'm saying. It's fine. What we were doing at the start is fine, right? But at the moment,
Yeah, I know.
we're going
Can
on
I
too
just
long.
finish?
If we're going to go past Christmas, if we're going to go past, if we're going to keep this going until we fuck them, right?
Yeah, if I
We
can finish.
have to do this.
A lot of movements, or whatever you want to, if you don't want to call it Gamer movement, whatever, started out, with no leadership, no organization, and they kind of swelled and got bigger. But all of them got to a point where some kind of organization was either imposed or it was, or like arose naturally within the group. Right? It happens. Every single thing gets systematized. You cannot avoid it. Well, actually, no, you can avoid it, and the way you avoid it is by the thing dying off. That's the only way to avoid it. Everything else gets systematized. It's a fact of history. It always happens. And I've been saying this for a while. Either we die off, we get co-opted, or we somehow figure out a way to get to get some organization in place where we're not co-opted, where it's still true to the roots and it can move forward.
Yeah, and that's
so
what I
far,
think the idea can provide, to be
yes.
honest. I mean, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I
Yeah.
can't really think of a flaw,
Your
really,
idea
to
is
be
the
honest.
only idea I've heard that I think could actually provide this. I'd love to hear anything else that could, it could also achieve the same results. But apart from that, like it has to happen. Something like some kind of organization does have to happen, or we'll
Yep, definitely.
we'll eat ourselves. We'll go the way of the French Revolution and start killing each other.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think that's what they've been waiting for, to be honest. I think that's why they targeted Poe in the first place. They've sent him. I mean, I can feel for the guy, man. If I was him, I can see he's been getting smashed by both sides, right? He's been able to take one side, but as soon as the actual pro Gamergate guys started smashing him, and then you got maybe shells coming in there. Could you imagine his inbox? About him.
I feel sorry for the guy. Like, he got burnt out.
Yeah.
He fucked up. I'm not going to say he didn't fuck up. He fucked up.
Because
But
he's under so much stress.
Yeah,
Like,
it's stress. He got burned out. I'm not gonna berate the guy for it. Like, let him take a month off and come back and.
But my point is, Gamergate needs people like him. But problem is, the council could be him. If you see what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Like, to get the information out there, everyone knows where to go. Everyone knows. Everyone's getting bored with it. Oh, all I can do is send emails. But if they go to the council, they can say, "What can I do?" And the council know all the operations that are going on, so they can say, "Right,
I'm just saying
send
someone.
emails to here, or you can do this or that. The next thing you can help us with this."
I'd just like to address, if I can interrupt for a moment. There's someone in the chat, ATX Yankee, is saying, I had some thoughts. Yeah. On the surface, a council is a bad idea. It will amplify the centralized attacks. Pole, Internet Aristocrat, Mundane Matt, and Sargon, they were lightning rods. But because of the decentralized nature of everything, losing one doesn't mean the end of things. That is correct,
Yep.
ATX. However, the idea with the council is that because it is a constant rotation, there's nobody there who's going to sit there forever and get burnt out. There's nobody there who people just they're not going to be there. The idea is they're long enough there to provide input, but they're not long enough to they're not in there long enough to get burnt out to start forming a clique or anything like that. And because of the fact that it's a constant rotation, if it's a lightning rod, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's targeted because you can't say, there's a constant, there's some secret conspiracy within the council because the people on the council changed.
Exactly,
That's
man.
what we're trying to get.
That's the beauty of it, man. They can't like if it changes every couple of weeks or every month, whatever, that's not really figured out. But the beauty of it is that the council changes, so they can attack. I mean, Poe, Internet Aristocrat, Sargon, and all that, right? They've took it for a good few months now, right? They've been getting smashed, guaranteed. But the beauty of this is it only happens to the council for a week, and then you can put up with it for a week. You see what I'm saying? And then it changes again. So it totally does away with the leader thing because it can't happen.
Yeah,
Although
but I think we saw something similar in the stream with Sargon. There were some people who haven't been that like if I want like celebs, but they've become more prominent figures now that King of Pole is gone. I think it happens organically because I've seen I don't remember his last name, but somebody called Oliver, and he had some very good information.
Sweet Dog, he's been around for a while. He's just not. He doesn't do e-celeb drama. That's the
He's
thing.
a
He doesn't do
journalist, I
celeb
think.
drama, which is good.
Yeah,
He-
but
he's
I
something.
just
I know he's got like.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think it can happen organically, but I don't know. I mean, before this, I'm just a regular dude. I play games. I thought GamerGate was important, so I kind of jumped on board after it had been going for a little while, even though I was keeping up with it right from the whole conspiracy thing. But yeah, part of the reason I think the council is a good idea because since anybody can get in on it, there's no there's you don't need like an established base because with the random picking thing, you don't need like to have a following to get like elected or anything. You just put your name in and get lucky. And so that's the thing. Like Sargon could be on the council if he got chosen by the selector, and then he'll be gone in a week or so. I would say that, just to reiterate my previous point.
Exactly. We just use a random number generator. We get everyone's name, put it in the list, get a random number generator. There's loads of them on the net, and we just hit it, and then it gives you, I don't know, 10, 6, 10, however many people you want in the council, and bam, there's your 10 people for the week, or for 2 weeks, or a month, or whatever. And they do the shit that basically they get all the information, they confirm it, they decide what and what not to release, and other stuff.
Yeah, there is a point here. ATX. This is the point that I will totally agree with ATX Yankee on. His counter is that, just to quote him, shit, the chat's fucking up. Yeah, my counter is that if the reliance is on the members of the council instead of the council itself, you have a lag time for people being able to catch up with whoever the new source of information is. This is the weakness of this idea, in that because there isn't that continuity, you lose the advantages of having a continuous thing where someone gets put on the council and they've got to kind of catch themselves up to it. Now, that is the one weakness of this idea.
Yeah, but if
I
don't
don't
know
think
who
it's
to
actually
get this information from,
well.
then
I don't think it is actually that big of a weakness. I mean, yeah, it is a problem, but it doesn't have to be a crippling problem. Does that make sense?
yeah, and the other point is, if we've got these stupid knobheads asking who's your leader, we can go, our leader's the council, and just point them at the council, and the council can go, here's what we need, piss off. Do you know what I mean?
I kind of have doubts that we're going to get such a bunch of different people into this one idea. I think part of our strength is that we're all different.
No, but that's the thing, though. The council will still be all different. The only thing the council does is decide what's best for GamerGate. That's it.
They'll decide what's best for us, and you better believe it.
The
Don't
best
think much
thing
amongst
to
them.
do is
No. I'm not saying
start a
that way.
blog
I'm
post or something
saying
where people can
I'm
comment.
saying
You gotta start a conversation somewhere where others can comment on an
no,
ongoing
it'll
basis.
all be open, but that's what I already said. It'll all be open. It'll all be on YouTube or whatever. The reason we picked whatever, or the reason the council picked this. So it'll be first, but everyone can view it on YouTube or whatever, and they can put their comments across and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like Kelly's pissed right off at us. I believe in better ethics and putting Gamergate based on recent hate.
She's what? What?
I don't know who that is, so I'm sorry.
She's the politician who's like, I'm going to run for GamerGate or something, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, right, the one that you mentioned earlier. But weren't the mid-term elections like a few days ago?
She was just going for city council, but still, she was running on a Gamergate platform, and people were paranoid of her. And yeah, a lot of people were really nervous about her trying to use Gamergate, and now she's backlashing.
So she's basically pissed because people weren't sure of her and her intentions.
Yeah, her motivations were highly in question, and now she's mad at us, and now she's gonna try and hurt us for it.
Yeah, I think I saw her in a
I just
stream.
want to point out that just the fact that she did that kind of like turned so quickly might actually just show that maybe she was trying to just co-opt this thing.
Exactly. I tried to keep an open mind to her. I was trying to say that we should allow all people in. It doesn't matter. Wait until they actually do something. And Into the Bleak actually was one that really warned me that this is exactly what she's going to do. And yeah, looks like that's what she's doing.
ATX Yankee has, I've read out a few of his messages from the chat. He's now actually in this stream now. So ATX, you wanna
thanks for having me. You can call me Nate or Yankee, whatever you'd like to call me. I am actually from Austin, Texas, so I've got a lot to say about Mackenzie Kelly as well.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Well, first, I apologize. I saw the stream, noticed late. I got in about an hour in. Would somebody explain to me what the actual purpose of this council idea is? Because that's the one thing I don't quite understand. What we're going for with that.
I think he's trying to get it to filter information before it actually, like what King of Pole did with the leak about the Denton leak. That won't really happen with a council like we. And the council sort of changes. Like you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically to make sure that bad information doesn't get out there that can hurt us.
I think, and the other reason is to find new operations. Like, we've got the whole ongoing thing with the emails, but a lot of people want something more to do. The other thing for the council to do is just basically come up with like new operations for us to do, if you want to call it that. That's the other goal of it. At least that's what I'm gathered from Mournblade's description.
Okay, so I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. What it really sounds like, what the goal here is to have a sort of established repository and a dedicated centralized location where people like me and anyone else can go and get the information and not have to spend 5-6 hours reading up on the internet trying to keep up with everything that's going on.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yep.
I still see the weakness, as I already said, about a centralized attack position, and I don't necessarily think that with something like this, a council needs to, exist. I guess. I mean, we have GamerGate.me, which is becoming a new space, and the GamerGate thread on the Escapist has been a really good repository, and I can understand the concern. I mean, I had a lot of words to say, and I actually made an audio aimed at Matt and Poll about what they pulled, because quite frankly, what Mackenzie Kelly pulled that day was a much bigger deal. It was a much, much more important thing that we should have been paying attention to as a kind of a movement. So,
What did she pull?
she got interviewed by Fox News.
Yeah, I missed. Like I seen her post that, and I seen her asking the Twitter questions that she was going to be asked, but I never seen the Fox News.
No information about when it's getting aired.
Oh, okay.
So as an Australian, I don't know that much about American politics, other than that it's completely wacky. So for the sake of the rest of the world, can you kind of fill us in on what exactly is going on there?
Okay, so are we specifically about Mackenzie Kelly?
Sure.
Yeah, why this is a bigger deal than smoking a bowl.
So we just had our nationwide elections on November 4th. Now, most state and local elections are also tied in with national elections, and so they'll all happen on the same day. The city of Austin recently moved to a new district plan for the city council, also expanding the number of seats, and so we had this huge election for all the various seats. District 6 is the district that Mackenzie Kelly ran for. It's a conservative district. It's also where Dell Computers is located geographically. So it's a fairly tech-heavy region. So that's a little background about where she was running from. She didn't manage to win. She didn't even manage to make the runoff. Pretty abysmal campaign all the way around. By my best calculation, she used Gamergate to get publicity. So we have a politician, local politician, using an online movement to try and generate some attention and basically publicity for a campaign that crashed and burned pretty hard.
So she's basically the exact type of person we're trying to watch out for, who would co-opt, Gamergate if they got their claws into it.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
To me, it looks like everybody that was warning me about her was right. What she's saying now on Twitter is, to me, anybody is welcome into Gamergate. I don't care who you are, really, but if you can't take a little constructive criticism, and I never seen that much. I've seen a few people going after her, paranoid, and like a little bit questioning her motives and stuff. But now she's labeling it as all of Gamergate is doing it. Like is sending her hate when that is totally wrong. I've seen lots of Gamergaters engage her and welcome her, and nope, now it's like Gamergate is hate, and now it's wrong. It's gonna lose.
That was not the vibe I was getting off her Twitter. Let me pull that up just to see if there's something new that I've missed. I know she was at a Williamson County thing tonight. Yeah, I mean, we're starting to see the turn, definitely with those tweets. That's not the best of things. And like I said, my best estimation is she's using the movement to get some publicity, because Austin is a fairly tech-savvy city. They've been trying to make it Silicon Valley too. So we have BioWare here, among other companies. So there's a lot of
I forgot to mention that.
there's a lot of companies here, so a lot of people at least have a tangential knowledge of it, probably more so than your average American.
Well,
I mean,
I think she's fair anyway, just because Gamergate's bigger than America. That's the thing.
Well, we are starting to spread. Like I'm seeing lots of Europeans coming on the stream.
yeah, I'm European, so I don't know if you heard earlier, but I was on a podcast.
Something about you were talking about a podcast or something?
Yeah, I was on a podcast trying to refute all the accusations of Gamergate here in Europe.
How big is this podcast? How many listeners do you think? Like, is it a popular thing, or is it just small, like our channel here, sort of thing?
No, it's big. It's by a legit journalist. So I think around, I don't know, perhaps like 100,000 people or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, that's good. And they at least let you on to sort of, you know, like you did say you got on. Am I correct?
Yeah, I debated them for 1.5 hour, like in 90 minutes.
Well, that's a hell of a lot better than most of the media is doing over here.
Yeah, I told them. They asked me why we're doing it, and we're just trying to get on podcasts and trying to at least show our side. And I think they made a pretty good step, even though they were shitting on GamerGate for like 5 weeks.
Wow.
So I prepared all week to not look like a fool, but they were cherry picking a lot, and
So
all the
business
time
as
they.
usual for them.
Well, typically, most journalists are going to be biased one way or another.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
think
the
it's
thing
possible
with
for
a lot of
journalists not to
journalism
be
now
biased.
is they're just letting their they don't even try to be objective anymore. It's just left or right, black or white, and
Yeah. Well, there's David Packman who's actually I was surprised about how good he is with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to really like Pac-Man. I've seen a few of his shows in the past, just like searching Google for certain stories, and I've watched him once or twice before, and I thought he was okay, but I've never actually followed what he did. But I'm gonna start like looking at more of his stories for sure, because that's the kind of journalism I do like.
I've got a new person in here.
Oh, we got a couple new people.
Oh yeah, we do.
Oh joy! Yay!
Gabriel and Lucas. You guys wanna? One of you guys? How about Gabriel? You want to go first? Introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm Gabriel.
I think you
Yeah,
just cut out.
and I'm Lucas.
Since we're live to YouTube, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my mom for everything she did for me. No, that I might recall everything.
Do you have any pets to thank?
Yeah. I'd like to thank my 2 dogs that always been with me my whole life, and now that I'm famous, I promise it will not come up to my head.
So, what got you into Gamergate?
I don't know. I'm not in the game again.
What?
So,
Wait,
like,
say
what brought you into this stream then?
I just hacked it into the transmission.
Okay, well, if you just want to hang and listen, that's fine until we need a spot for somebody else. What about Lucas?
Sim, agora eu fiquei perdido, não sei falar
Tá
inglês.
te perguntando pra fazer a tua introdução.
Não sei nem falar inglês, mas.
Yeah, he's happy. He's happy.
What?
Tá.
What?
I have no idea what's going on.
No.
All right, guys. We have to go. Have a good time.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Lucas, did you just hack in here too, or do you got something to say about Gamergate?
Isso é um hangout sobre não sei o que de videogame. Ele tá perguntando se tu é da parte do time ou também tu entraste hackeando aqui. Que eu hackei.
Sim,
No, he's with me.
eu também tô.
Alright.
We're really in nowhere. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Mom.
What the hell?
Lucas, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Nossa, sorry, I don't speak English.
Right, so Lucas was with Gabriel then.
Yeah. Okay.
What
Wow.
the hell?
That's. I think we can just like ignore that.
Well, it could have been worse, I guess.
Yeah. It could have been worse.
Everybody get everything off their chest, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure there's much left to say really. I mean, oh, actually, yeah, no, the council. Someone was saying, Evildo was saying, like, you know, we've kind of got a council right now. Why change it? This is a bit of a good point. Like, we've kind of got this thing with the Google Plus, like hangouts that are happening right now. I can see this point of like, we've kind of got these people getting up, getting into these streams. Naturally, they just say, "Hey, I want to be in the stream," and they get on the stream. That's how I got into the stream first. Mephisto just asked me, "Hey, there's a stream. Who wants in?" And I was the first person to respond. But
yeah, that's what the way I kind of want it to go.
But that's exactly what the council would be, though. But instead of like just being our stream, and us selecting our figureheads and the opposition selecting our figureheads, we go to the council. That's all it is, and it's just randomly picked every so often.
Yeah, I suppose I see what you're saying now. It's basically okay. So
it's like a hub to harness the chaos, man.
I wouldn't say it like that. It's basically like these streams, but with actually some responsibility attached to the participants.
Yep, pretty much.
That seems to be.
It just harnesses the chaos more.
Yeah.
May I posit a what if?
Go ahead.
Sure.
So, what if, since we're doing this randomly selected, one of the anti-GG, radfems who we know they've been, doing infiltration type shit, that's in fact their MO, happen to get on this.
They can't. Well, they might. One of them might.
But they might. There's that
option. The whole council would be with it. But they could be right here. How do I know you're not one?
That's a fair point. I submit my Twitter feed as evidence. We'll call it Exhibit A.
And now just go Photoshop. There's no way we can't stop them getting in.
No, I actually want them in.
Okay,
but that's what I mean. If we have a council, right, that's randomly selected, what's the chance of the whole council being randomly selected full of them guys?
Well, I don't know. This channel I set up to have. I want different hosts, and to have different guests on. Like Darkstar did a couple of good shows where he got one good guest and then did an interview sort of, and then opened the floor up for other guests to come in after an hour or so and kind of discuss what they were talking about. That's a pretty good idea too. But I want the hosts to have their own thing. I want them to be able to do their own thing. Or if you just want to come on and make a public service announcement, go ahead, and then we can discuss what's going on.
And that's kind of what the council would do. The council would take all the ideas, right? Because I'm sure there's millions of ideas out there with all these different people. What I'm saying is the council just basically, you got an idea, send it to council work out whatever bullshit they want to work out, right? They have it on a live stream. They say, look, we're dealing with this right now. Here's a live stream. You can all see what we're doing. There's no co-op. There's no bullshit. And everyone knows that the council are doing what they should be doing. There's none of this kind of post stuff where, oh, there's a hidden council and shit. No, there's no hidden council. This is the GamerGate council, motherfuckers. And you can also journalists to the council, and the council will have a statement to give them and stuff like that. Because if it keeps going the way it's going, we're not going to win. Well, we might put down Gawker, but we're not going to have a proper legitimate. To have a proper legitimate thing to keep it going, we'll need to do something like this. And this is the best idea I can think of. But you're all welcome to just take it and run with it. But we're going to need some type of leadership council thing.
Yeah, but somebody took up the point that how do we know these guys are pro GamerGaters and not just anti GamerGaters, or if they are even good enough to be in the council?
But it doesn't matter because they're randomly selected and they're only there for like a week or so. Doesn't matter. If they're not good enough, then the rest of the council members will go, look, you're shit, you're not pulling your weight.
a week's an eternity in this thing. Like, we're talking about a week, but lots of damage can be done in that time span. And if, the random selection pulls one or two bad eggs, whatever that means, whether it's just incompetence, somebody is actively trying to sabotage, whatever, you've got a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever has been decided, where all of a sudden now you've
No, if
got...
they can get voted out.
This is a good point. It is, because it's so open. This
I know what you mean, but just run with the idea. We need something like this. I mean, I'm not saying I've got all the fucking answers. I'm just saying
Alright.
that
I think if I can just
you can
interrupt
work that out, man.
you, what we've got here is we want something just to bind together. Like, okay, we've got people starting their own stuff, and that means I'm talking about like Roguestars, Vox Populi things. The places where ideas will be kind of disseminated. Where it's I suppose it'd be trying to create a megaphone that isn't one person.
Yeah,
And
it's just like a space where all the information goes to.
Kind of have this already with basically stuff like this stream. I'm actually starting to think that, hey, maybe this stream is enough. Maybe this is all we need. Like yeah, I think maybe we don't actually need like this official system like this. Like just this stream with, as long as people actually watch, just actually watch it and stuff, it's fine. We don't need the official system, because at the moment anybody can get in randomly.
Maybe, but I've seen a lot of people on Twitter ask, I'm getting bored of sending emails, what else can I do? And that's something the council can say. They can say, this is the operations that are going on at the moment.
I think
here's what you can do.
Anyway,
You can send emails and you can send whatever it is. Sort of thing. It's like an official place just to get official things.
I think we need one official place. Like, let's just say we had the Steam group as the official place. The Steam group would be open to being mass reported and shut down then. And then people have to mass migrate again.
Sort of, yeah, but we don't need to call it Gamergate. I don't know. Actually, it's just throwing the idea out there. I think we need to be more organised than we actually are, and that's the idea.
Sure, I want to be open to ideas, but they have to be critiqued quite a bit first, and I think the audience too wants to hear them critiqued. They just don't want to hear us come out and say this is what we're going to do.
No. I was just putting an idea out there. I think.
Sure.
Okay. The reason King of Poland, all that. I mean, I see it. I seen it in him. I watched his streams. I seen him get smashed, man. He got fucked up. He really did. Something changed in him just watching his streams. And I'm thinking, it wasn't just us. It was them attacking him at first. Okay. And then some of our guys were attacking him for saying something. And then he just cracked, man. And what I'm saying is, if we have what's going to happen is, right, these guys are going to each of our e-celebs, or whatever you want to call them, right, there'll always be one that's in the top with the most listeners or whatever, right? And they'll attack them, right? And even we do it, man. We put our e-celebs on the top as well, because we watch them. So they kind of pick up who's the most famous, and then attack them. And they'll do that one by one. And what I'm saying is, to solve this problem, what we do is we create a council, and that's where you go for your information. That's it.
I think I have kind of swayed the other way, because people in the chat and ATX LT have made good points that I think it probably wouldn't really fulfill a role that isn't actually already being filled by, like, if people want to know where to go, all we need to do is just kind of let people know that they can go to existing places like the GamerGate YouTube channel, right? Like whatever the places that exist to get this information already. That's all that needs to happen. I'd say rather than a council, just kind of a better megaphone for ideas that come from other people, people who aren't already e-celebs.
Nah, I'm just thinking the chaos needs to be organised a wee bit more than it is, that's all. And kind of focused. Like, grab the chaos and focus it instead of it just being fucking everywhere, Well,
some people are saying that our disorganisation is our strength. Partly, yes, because we're hard.
Disorganisation is our strength, but it's also our downfall, man.
Yes, there does need to be a balance. If we go, oh yeah, chaos is awesome, we should totally go for chaos. We'll just splinter into hundreds of tiny groups who aren't really doing anything. They're not. There's no kind of concerted effort, and Gamergate just becomes this meaningless term. But obviously that hasn't happened yet, because there are already places that kind of fulfill this role, like people said in the chat. There's nothing. I don't think. Yeah, I'd agree. The council just can't do anything that's not already being done already.
Possibly. I don't know, man.
Yeah, people are going to gravitate to the places they like. Like you got the 4chan group that mass migrated to 8chan. They got the GG board. You got Kotaku in action for the Reddit people.
Yeah.
You got our Steam group for people that don't really like to go there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the council will take all this.
And gets pointed to go here or there.
No, but what I'm saying is the council will take. Basically, the council's job is basically to take all, because all I've got is like Twitter and YouTube and the other things. I don't really use the other stuff. So basically, what the council's job would be to monitor all the things that you just said and like direct people to whatever's going on.
People can already do this.
It's like a news channel type.
This makes sense. People can already do this. If someone wants to kind of troll through Kotaku in action, through Twitter, through the GamerGate, what do you call it? The GamerGate.
Yeah, I could do that, but I'm lazy. I would just go to poll stream and see.
Okay, but someone else can do it. We don't need a council. Like, you think
No, see, you're misunderstanding the point. I'm trying to replace King of Poll stream or Monday's match stream about GamerGate because
much at all. We don't actually need that.
No, but we did because they're the voices of getting people involved in it, right? You don't see my point. My point is they were the voices of GamerGate. Right?
I get what you're saying. I get that King of Poll especially was kind of a centralizing figure for a lot of GamerGate because he ran streams that a lot of us could get to, a lot of us could get a lot of information out of it. But the thing is that we do have other sources of centralizing information. I've thrown it out a couple times, the Escapist GamerGate thread. It's what I troll every day. I sit there and I just, basically read up and watch what links get posted.
Right,
Same thing on FileFront.
But that's what you do. What I'm saying is.
But a lot of people do that, and what happens, is, especially if you follow multiple of these, what you see is one thing gets posted somewhere, and then, I shit you not, within 20 minutes, you'll see it posted in other places.
Yeah.
Time and time again, something got posted on, especially The Escapist or Kotaku in Action, and it was like 5-10 minutes. I saw the same thing posted on FileFront. I saw the same thing posted on Twitter. The people as a whole have already been really good about cross-pollinating all this information.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, maybe one day when I wake up, can't be arsed fucking going through all that shit to find out what's going on, right?
But you don't have
so just go to the stream, and it's the council stream, and it just says, look, guys, this is what's happening today. This is the shit.
But we do that.
These journalists, These journalists have came to us, we've told them to go and fuck themselves, and it's about ethics and not misogyny, and we don't hate women and shit. Right, I'm just saying a central place for everyone to get information, not just GamerGaters, just fucking everyone.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're going to eat each other apart. That's it.
Okay.
That's what I think anyway. But anyway, that's the idea, man. Do what the fuck you want with it.
Okay. I think we should
I don't want to be in the
definitely move on
council
from
anyway.
from this subject now. We've been kind of talking about it from
Yeah, people want to change subjects. I feel.
Yeah, I think what is it? Let's have a look.
Leanna K's interview. I thought it was a bit redundant.
I haven't seen it.
She was the most recent on David Pakman's show. It was pretty. It was pretty muted. They discussed, whether or not sexism was a real issue in the gaming community or if it's a societal problem, which was Leanna K's proposition that it's a societal problem, and that out of all the media that she's worked in, blah blah blah, it's the most inclusive. Really. As far as the interviews go, it was probably the least informative.
Well, basically, I'd say maybe it was informative to anti-GGs if they watch it, but not really informative to us because we already know all that stuff.
Mostly neutral. I mean, she wasn't clearly pro GamerGator, but she wasn't against it either.
That's fair. That's a very fair assessment.
I mean, she took up some subjects we probably wouldn't agree with at all, but she raised some valid points as well. Yeah, so, I don't know. Anything else you guys wanna have some
I might sign out at this point, guys. Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peace. And don't, try to remember, like I said in my public service announcement, treat people with respect, even if they are on the other side.
Yep, I always do. Have a good day.
I'm going to sign off as well. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure discussing everything. And to everyone in the stream, keep sending emails and start filing those Freedom of Information Acts. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen to file those. So for all you Europeans, you can do it too. Later. Thank you.
Good day. And yeah, we might as well close it off then.
Yeah, okay.
Any last plugs or anything?
No, not really. I think we can give it another crack tomorrow or something.
Sure. And yeah, I want to get different hosts to get as many people discussing it as possible. So let's work on getting more people in here. And thanks a lot, guys, for everybody joining us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later.
Later, man. Hey, sorry I was away. Hey, good night.
Good night.